Come that night, begin to seek the Lord down here in the basement, and the Lord began to put this whole message together. Cold spots are a common phenomenon in buildings that are thought to be haunted. People describe sudden drops in temperature or localized cold areas in an otherwise warm room. Okay? Often researchers can trace the cold spot to a specific source, like a drafty window or a chimney. The sensation of a lower temperature can also come from reduced humidity. Then we look at God releases the judgment angels.
It was shown last night in the spirit realm. There are angels being charged all through the land. This is thus saith the Lord. I seen it in the spirit realm last night as I was in the spirit in the book of Ezekiel praying unto the Lord. There are angels that are now been released throughout all the land. The judgment angels.
Upon the land and the whole affecting and shifting of the weather and the temperatures and the humidity and the fog and all these things that are going on in this hour. For what rides with, folks? Let me quickly read this to remind you. In Revelation chapter 6, and in verse 7, and look, I beheld verse 8, a pale horse, but it starts at 7, 6, 7. 6, 7. I've been talking about that, and I'm going to keep saying that because there's a connection to that number in the hour we're coming into and what's taking place. Remember that 6, 7. The fourth seal. Everything I've been talking about, preaching and prophesying for the last few years. The number 4, the fourth seal. The black plague. So the black man on the porch, it begins to trigger me after all this begins to reveal to me. And I begin to go back to that image on my porch. So, Lord, is there something deeper here? Well, you think black. The black. You think of Black Death right away. You Google that. It's the plague, the bubonic plague, the plague that connects to the lice, to the rodent, that God has been having me prophesy over 2 years about. And it's almost as if God is saying, "It's at the door. It's at the door. It's at the door, son." Now. You got the word enterprise. Who enterprise was then founded in the city of St. Louis 67 years ago. You got 6, 7 again. St. Louis as the very dream that God gave Brendan. The Great Madrid fault line that runs right through the St. Louis, folks. The hour that we're at. Because God knows that Satan's not going to stop this agenda he's on, folks. He's taken more souls, more lives than we've ever seen this hour. And that's why the Bible said, if God doesn't cut the work short, there'll be nobody getting saved. Because they're running to dead churches that are controlled by the low frequency that covers the greater territory through the church, folks. Satan has come right through them, folks. to bring their false doctrines and their false teaching, and people think they're coming to Christ, but they're not, folks. They're not even getting saved, but they think they are. And I looked and beheld a pale horse, and the name that sat on him was what? Death and what? Hell. Hell. What goes with hell? As they call the paranormal, right? The ghosts, right? The demonic powers, the demons of Satan, folks, that they're talking about cold spots, shifting in temperature. God releases the judgment angels. The pale horse rider is riding in this hour. Thus saith the Lord. And the effect of the temperature and the changes and all that we are going through in this hour.